not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Amp2.tv presents Tell Us Your Business, where you're invited on the air to tell us what makes your business stand out in the community. It's important we hear from you to tell us all we need to know about what you do best. Tell Us Your Business uses the latest radio and television production systems, and all shows can be seen on amp2.tv. If you have a question for our guest, call 888-565-1470. Now, let's get ready as our guest hits the airwaves and informs us about what we need to know on Tell Us Your Business.
And welcome to Tell Us Your Biz. On the air, I have Eddie Flores from Catholic Home Health Services, and Eddie is well known in the service business. Yeah, I see it. And Eddie, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on your show.
Now, I know that we have a lot to cover, so I'm going to let you take it from here, and then I'm going to come in every once in a while to ask you a question. But I want people to understand this is a call-in show. We're doing this for the first time with Eddie. This is a call-in show, so if you grab your paper and pen, you're able to call in and ask him questions. 888-565-1470. That's 565-1470 at the radio station. Any questions you have on his services, you can call in. He'll be happy to answer it. And I'm going to be asking him a couple of things as well. I just don't want to take away your thunder.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So take it away, Eddie.
Appreciate it. Well, as the introduction, my name is Eddie Flores. I work with Catholic Health Services. We are a nonprofit company ran by the Archdiocese in Miami. We do a plethora of services. We believe in helping everybody. Just to paint a picture, we do a complete continuum of care, all the way from home health, rehab, skilled nursing, hospice, and even HUD housing. So this is a complete plethora of services that one organization can offer, and we do service Dade and Broward County. As you can tell if you're online, there's my contact information. I'm a 24-hour guy. If you could reach me, if I can help any family member, that's my goal. And, just to start off with all types of services that we offer, beginning with, it's just a simple thing as home health, getting home health from a physician's office. We provide all types of care that can help service, to whatever from wound care, frequencies of visitations to help family members. It's all insurance based when it comes to that aspect of it. So we are responsible for some insurances that we could do. And then, just the simple part of just home health. And then you move on to other services that we have. For example, skilled nursing. We offer skilled nursing, which is a service if the physician or out of the hospital, you feel that, a patient could help and benefit from an hour and a half of nursing care at home. That's an opportunity for us to help with those patients in need. Just to paint a picture with Catholic Health Services, we have multiple locations between Dade and Broward County. In Broward County, for an example, we have St. John's, which is our skilled nursing, and we have St. Anthony's, which is our rehab center, which is also for more in-depth for patients, suffering that, had a stroke, any type of cardiac surgeries, and they're just trying to rehab themselves back to everyday activities. That's where an organization like ourselves, or in general rehabilitation centers, could benefit families and patients to try to get back to everyday daily activities, especially when you go through a catastrophic event like a stroke or open heart surgeries and or traumatic incident or so forth. Rehabilitation centers are 4 hours of care per day, not necessarily in one shot, just scattered during the course of the day, and that helps benefit a patient to get back on track. Something that they could, whatever they could sustain to move forward to get back. We're the only facility in Broward County that offers a pool, for an example, and that helps with motor skills, especially with stroke patients and so forth. then moving on, we have assisted living facilities that we could help to place patients. We have HUD facilities all over Dade and Broward County. Also, to the point, we do hospice care. Hospice care is something that people have a delicate subject about. They hear the word hospice and they, oh my goodness, they start freaking out. I'm not ready to die or anything, and it's quite the contrary. Hospice is what it means. It means palliative care in a way. It means we're there for comfort and work on symptom management. That's what hospice is. When you're gone to a stage in your life that you can't benefit from any type of aggressive surgeries, or you have a terminal diagnosis and there's no type of services that aggressive treatments of chemos or can't, you're reaching an age in your life that you can't move forward with any type of surgeries or medicines that are for aggressive treatments. That's where hospice comes in. Hospice comes in as a symptom manager, just simple as that. You got your 85-year-old patient, and you don't want to get them to go through any types of chemos and so forth. Based on it's just going to take a huge toll on them. Our job is we're symptom managers. That's what hospice really means. It's a symptom management aspect of managing a patient's symptoms, keeping them comfortable, a way of having staff appropriately help coming to your household instead of going to the hospital 10, 15 times in 3 or 4 months. I've seen that happen. An organization, not just myself, any organization that does hospice people could benefit from that and manage them and take care of them to avoid those frequent flyers going back to the hospital and just doing patchwork and sending you back home. We could do all that and help you at home. It's almost like a hospital at home, to be honest. It's a complete plethora of care what Catholic Health Services offers as far as, taking care from the beginning to the end. And don't worry about the Catholic Health Services. We help people from all faiths. We have our own L'Chaim division, which is ran by rabbis. So it makes sure that it gets to the continuum of care to respect, Jewish people's religions and so forth. So it's a not a bad deal. I mean, we even offer palliative care consultations at home. Sometimes people need some guidance, and we could send some people, a physician to your household and have conversations with you when it comes to pain management and see what we could do to help you. Catholic Health Services has been around since 1988. Again, multiple locations all over Dade and Broward County. We have a large staff of nurses, physicians to help patients at home with at-home care. A complete plethora of care. And as you can tell, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call me, 888-565-1470. I'm not the one to say I know it all, but we could work here together and see what we could do to learn from one another to help educate the people in the community with all these types of services that are offered to people. And some people just don't take advantage of it. These are things that you work your whole life. If you pay for insurance, or you have Medicare, take advantage of the benefits that are there to help you.
Someone emailed in a question, Eddie. They're asking if they're at home with a loved one who is ill and they're not sure which one of those services is right for them. How do you guide them? Who meets with them? Do they call their doctor? Do they call you directly? Some people are at home, don't have any idea what it is that they're supposed to do or which service is right for them.
Thank you. There's a couple ways you could do that. You could call that number that you saw originally if you don't feel comfortable with just calling anybody, and maybe we had a connection already here with just reach out to me at the 786-920-2970, and I can answer any questions that any patients feel to help guide them at the right direction. Because in the end of the day, it's the direction that is right for the family. And we're here to support the family also, not just that patient, because it does take a toll on the family member. And we could help guide them with the types of services that might benefit them to assist the patient and the household. Another thing, we take it upon ourselves to reach out your primary care physician or your specialist and say that we've had a discussion with you, and we could then communicate with them. And knowing with what they've seen already, they'll probably agree with the types of services that we have render to help the patient and family, because sometimes patients have a difficult time getting into the doctor's office. That's huge. I mean, the fact that we could help transition that, even nowadays that, most of these places offer transport and so forth. I mean, those things take a half-day process. Sometimes the patient's, exacerbating before they can even get in front of the doctor to have a conversation. And, sometimes they need a little more time with the physician than just a few minutes. Sometimes it's important to really get across what's really needed to assist them. Hope that answers that question.
Do you offer case management services?
Yes, we do. Under our care, once we have a patient under our care, we offer case management, social worker services. Just to paint a picture, because it's the closest subject to my heart, because I really do love to take care of patients that are going into hospice. Social workers are involved with each case to see if they can apply for any type of benefit that they need, help guide them with their care, sometimes to avoid placement, sometimes that your elderly one gets to a point that that has a difficulty, to be taken care of at home. We'll help with filling out applications through Medicaid. And then it goes to, we'll help assist with placement. There's wonderful places like Coventry on Plantation that are really great at helping patients. Covenant Village, I'm sorry, not Coventry. Coventry's an insurance, forgive me. But locations like that in Plantation are the types of ideal places that us as an organization like to work with when we try to help through a social worker to assist them with placement, for an example, when it reaches that point. Another awesome thing we do, just to paint a picture, is a patient that is under hospice care, and they're, a pet is as important as a family member nowadays for a lot of patients. We offer pet therapy. What does that mean is we'll assist with patients at home that have their pet and they don't have the ability to take care of them. We'll send a volunteer over to walk their pet a few times a week, help them maybe feeding them. If that's the case, that the patient is gone to a stage that, they're having a daily living situations themselves that they can't take care of themselves. God forbid, when it reaches a point, we'll even help place the dog in a loving home to help, or cat, of course. So those are awesome things that we do, and a social worker can help guide when it comes to that point. So that's a blessing in itself when it comes to that. Social workers are great at assisting if they feel that a patient needs, a conversation with our medical director or physician that's in charge of them to talk about, certain, things that they're going through with pains and so forth. They help. They're like the point guard, to say it in a sports term, and I hope that's okay to say that in this show. They help him pinpoint, if they need a nurse out there, a volunteer to help, even chaplains, spiritual guidance to get to that certain point. Those are things that people need that assistance. That's what a social worker does. They're the unsung hero in the case, really, because they're trying to help cater and help them truly with their people's needs, even though sometimes it might not be, families don't consider it the right need, but they know it's the right thing for them. And then once they take initiative, most families then realize, okay, that's the greatest thing that's happened during those times of need, really. So that's a big help.
I see that you have 7 campuses in the Broward and Miami-Dade area. Are you on the west coast of Florida as well, or any further north than Palm Beach or further north?
That's a great question. We ourselves, Catholic Health Services, just works in Dade and Broward County. Not truly a South Florida market, though ironically there's nationwide a lot of nonprofit Catholic organizations that we work with. For example, I remember sending a patient to New Jersey, and we worked with a Catholic health facility that's up there. We're not directly related, but ironically, still through the archdiocese itself. So that's a good thing about Catholic. And again, when I say the word Catholic, it's because we help people of all faiths. That's just been the Catholic way for many years. I'm sure people have their opinions on that, but it's an organization that wants to help everyone And that's our goal. Having these, we do have 6 facilities in Dade and Broward County. We have 2 of them in Broward County, which is located basically almost in the centralized location of Broward, by Oakland Park. Rehab. We're helping COVID patients right now, which, that's a tough thing anywhere. That's such a tough scenario when you go to a hospital and you can't even barely visit your loved one. So we have the ability of, we have, COVID floors, and, we could help with those family members at during those times of crisis. In Dade, we do have multiple locations. One of our main points is the one in Hialeah, for example. We have one, that one is called St. Catherine's. Actually, that's in Northwest. I apologize. Yeah, no, I was right. I'm sorry. St. Catherine's Rehab and Skilled Nursing, which is in Hialeah. Basically, that borderline between Dade and Broward County, for those people who live in the South Broward area, that might be something ideal. And we have multiple bilingual staff members, and we assist with that. Just to paint a picture, in our skilled nursing facilities, actually, I'll take it back. I apologize. In our rehabs, all our physical therapists are master's degree oriented, and they help. They're pretty much the highest educated that we can offer to help these patients to rehab back. We work with a lot of doctors in the community. I personally believe in educating community to help assist with teaching people about Catholic and all these various services. And to your point, social worker helps pinpoint that. That's huge.
Are you doing any teaching on the unvaccinated, or is this too touchy of a subject?
Well, it is a touchy subject. We don't do any teachings. I can tell you we were one of the first companies to have all our staff, or 90% and above of our staff in our facilities, vaccinated. And we were offering to vaccinate patients that come to our skilled nursing and rehab in the beginning, though that those vaccines do take they're 2 vaccines. And unfortunately, we stopped doing that for the simple fact is we don't know when a patient's going to be there for the second vaccination. But all our staff members are vaccinated, the majority of them. It's a requirement when you become a part of the Catholic Health Services family. I know people are scared of it. It's still a new vaccine, but it's something that is good to know that that we're trying to lessen the spread of COVID, which has changed the lifestyle and outcome for people in the last couple of years.
Eddie, what do you say we take a break, and when we come back, we can finish this wonderful conversation?
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Amp Media Productions and WNN Money Talk Radio have been in conjoint business for 10 years. They've been working around the clock, nonstop, to promote over 500 shows and businesses with added platforms such as social media live streaming, podcasts, and the specialty of live radio. To amplify your impact and start your show today, contact Amp Media Productions at 866-224-5422.
When your property suffers from water, mold, fire, or biohazard, you need a professional remediation company that is fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Rescue Clean 911 offer 24/7 emergency service with 1-hour response times now in your area. Water, mold, fire, biohazard. Call now 1-833-253-2699.
Handling the hard jobs with a soft touch.
Looking for a cool, laid-back space with great people and even better drinks? You can't lose. The Artful Dodger, Boca Raton's hidden gem. A good, old-fashioned local bar is hard to come by, but not anymore. The Artful Dodger is a fun, casual place to sit back and relax. Located at 495 Northeast 20th Street in Boca Raton, you'll find your new favorite bar. The Artful Dodger. We'll see you there.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would listen. It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have a platform you deserve to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 55312. That's CAFE to 55312. Or call us at 866-224-5422. Your voice can make a difference.
You are listening to Tell Us Your Business, where our invited guests share all the knowledge of their business and how important it is what they do in our community. If you want to be part of the conversation, call into the show at 888-565-1470 and tell us what's on your mind. Now, back to Tell Us Your Business.
Hey, Eddie, we're back. Eddie, you know, it takes a special kind of person to do what you do, and I'm really curious to ask you why you got involved in this business, what it means to you personally, because I heard you go to great lengths to help patients, and I'm kind of excited to hear about these stories, but Linda's been filling me in on a lot of the good things that you do for patients and everything else. What triggered you to get into this business?
That's a great question. It's something I've always wanted. I always wanted to be in the medical field, and it was two choices in life. I wanted to be a police officer at a young age, or wear a shirt and tie and be a pharmaceutical rep. Well, I never got the luxury to sell a product in a pharmaceutical company or whatever, but I ended up getting into the service world and of healthcare, and you know, just like the Lindas of the world, you know, that they get involved to help people. And it's something I don't want to say I fell into because I've always wanted to be a part of the healthcare field, but it's been a blessing in disguise because I get to help people, not guide them into a certain care or something like that. Sometimes you'll be surprised. They just need to vent their scenarios and to then point them into the right way of what care they could provide. So it's been a blessing to offer you know, services and teach them of the types of services that an organization like mine or in general offer to help people out. I mean, at the end of the day, it's really important.
And how long have you been doing this business, Eddie?
I've been into this business for about 14 to almost 15 years already.
And you cover so many different aspects in this business. What is the one business that really, really intrigues you that you like doing?
Hospice, because it is such an underutilized service in our nation. People hear the word hospice, and we're you know, being Americans, I guess, or our cultures, we're not taught to quit. So people think hospice is, that's it, it's over. It's nowhere near that, and it's a service, ironically, Freddie, that out of 100% of people that qualify for it, only 30% of it really take advantage of it, and it's that's kind of sad because how many people could have really benefit from hospice the right way? And that's where I come into play. You know, sometimes it's just listening to people, and you know, then touching onto their pain points of what is you know, they're scared of from hospice, or what, you know, what is it that, you know, it's about in their definition. And then I could just, you know, open their eyes and explain really what the hospice benefit really offers. So yeah, there's a lot of people out there that don't take advantage of the hospice benefit like they should. And that I think is based off in a way of, you know, taught from different cultures and American way in a way that we're not taught to quit. And, you know, it doesn't matter if you're 90 years old and 10, 20 things are going on in your life. I'm not quitting. I'm going to fight till the end. Sometimes when you do a lot of these aggressive, you know, I say treatments, but, you know, there's always going to be a cardiologist that Okay, your kidneys are failing, but your heart's perfectly fine. Let's fight. Hey, then comes a specialist, a nephrologist. Oh, you're in end stage. Your lungs aren't working right, but your kidneys are fine. And I say that based on everybody gets involved and everybody wants to do good, but sometimes it's not saying quit. It's actually just slowing things down and let the body just take its course sometimes.
And it gives people the opportunity also to do what they got to do with dignity, which, to be very honest, I didn't understand what that meant for years. And then I lost my dad a couple of years ago, and I understood finally what dignity means when you're at end of life. Can you touch a little bit upon that?
Well, everybody has their own definition of my definition of dignity is go out in your terms. And I don't that sounded a little bit too 80s action movie, like go out in your terms, but no, you'll be surprised how many cases I have. And sometimes it's the most simplest thing that they want to, let things come full circle. I mean, I've had a patient one time, all he wanted was a Coke, and I keep on returning to this because it's the most recent and it came to heart. A patient that is, was afraid to move to hospice, but at the hospital level, he couldn't do what he wanted. No dignity there. I mean, they were, not feeding him. They weren't doing whatever. He just looked at me straight face. He said, "Man, I'll go with you if I can have a Coca-Cola." And once you're on hospice, you can do whatever you want, my friend. You're in charge, or whatever your will says, or whatever. So that's, in my opinion, is do things in your terms and don't let the facade of what's your circumstances are going to take over. And that's just my personal view when it comes to that aspect.
It takes a lot to be able to say, listen, I want something, do it my way, go out my way, get whatever, slow it down my way. And sometimes people are afraid to even tell the truth. There's so many other things going on around them. But that's interesting. Now, I also was looking on the list here, palliative. What is palliative care?
Palliative care, in my opinion, the definition of palliative care is comfort measures. Palliative care is something that usually they call in when a patient had a knee surgery and they're in excruciating pain. Palliative care comes in, they manage pain, and moves forward. Usually people retort to hospice with palliative care because most patients, when they reach a certain level in their lives, are constantly in pain, either based on a terminal diagnosis and so forth. That's what palliative care really is. And it's we offer palliative care consultations at home, plus we help depending on the cases. And that's based on, that's a little bit of an insurance-driven situation, but depending on certain cases, we'll constantly follow these patients and we manage their pain. That's really what it is. And it's a way, Fred, of kind of slowing things down, as you mentioned, and kind of puts it on the families and kind of puts like, what do you want to do? This is the scenario that you have going on, palliative care. These are the comfort measures that we could do to oblige towards that. So, and it kind of paints a realistic consultation of all these scenarios that you have going on, and it'll help benefit having one physician that could paint a picture of how we can manage that moving forward if need be to manage pain. We do offer that service of going home to patients. Physicians often could write for palliative care consultations. We offer that in the hospital level, and we could focus on that from there.
Can that be provided alongside of curative treatment?
Yes, it's almost like a bridge the gap. Yes, palliative care can be offered as a bridge the gap with current aggressive treatments, as almost like a bridge the gap of starting a dialogue, a process of other options that people have, and then helps transition that over to maybe potentially getting a patient onto hospice based on, because that's what hospice is. It's truly palliative care. We work on symptoms and comfort management. In a way, they've always said that palliative care is not hospice, but hospice is palliative care. So that's a fact in itself.
So it's a nice transition. If you're kind of thinking you want the hospice, but you're not quite sure, it's a really nice way to transition to hospice.
It is, and it also helps educate families, because sometimes family members need to be painted not a realistic picture of what what's going on there, but sometimes, as mentioned, it slows it down, as another different perspective of a physician coming in, evaluating that individual patient's and family's situation, and seeing, it starts a dialogue towards other options, really, of care, plus obviously try to manage some of that pain.
So I'm getting a clearer picture as the more you're talking that these health services can be provided anywhere, that there is service. They can be in a nursing home, they can be in a person's home, they can be in assisted living. It's a service that you provide. Sometimes people hear hospice and they just think it's the end, but they don't realize that it's palliative, that it's gentle, and that it's a service that can be provided anywhere. And something else that
Absolutely.
I was wondering if you could touch on, I don't know if you talked about what crisis care is.
Great. Yes, absolutely. So when a patient signs on to hospice, let's say they have a conversation with me, they agree on it's something that they feel that they could benefit from, and they sign their consent form, which basically gives us the responsibility to take over your care. So under the hospice benefit, you have four kind of like categories that you could get care from. The most important one I feel is routine visitation. That is basically 90% of that patients that use the hospice benefit use, which means is they're getting care at a home level, at their home facility, which you mentioned locations. They could be at a long-term care facility, an ALF, and we could provide care, which is huge because it does help the ALFs and the patient with constant care to avoid any type of readmissions to the hospitals and so forth. So we could offer that, which is routine level of care. We go to your location where your place of that you lay rest, and we have multiple visitations with our complete staff. Now, the next level would be inpatient unit. We do have our Holy Cross inpatient unit, the Holy Cross Hospital here in Broward County. Right then and there, for instance, if a patient is not doing well and they would benefit from going into one of our inpatient units, which would mean is that they have constant 24-hour care, almost the exact of a hospital level there, and then they get 24-hour care from our physician, nurse, and the whole staff, basically as being in any other facility but your own home. You mentioned crisis care. I call it continuous care a little bit. When you are home and you are not feeling well, that's the thing about hospice. You could call us. We are like a first responder. We would actually recommend you calling us before you even bother calling 911 to see if we could help you manage your symptoms at home. Now, we could provide at your home level, usually when you transition out of a hospital, or if you're already on our services and you're not doing well, we could provide 24-hour care at home with 12-hour shifts with a different nurse. A physician will visit you during that time frame, one of our physicians, and we can manage your patient at home.
Did you say 24-hour care?
Yes, it is 24-hour care. It is until the patient is stable. And then we will go back to our routine visitation. That is something that's a huge benefit for families, especially when you're transitioning from the hospital to home level, based on the fact that we could help ease that stress levels for the family. When you get home from the hospital, we can provide 24-hour care for a few days, 2 to 3 days on any given moment, to manage your patient at home, to avoid any type of readmission to the hospital, help the family get acclimated, educate them also on what we could do to keep them at home and manage them in a better way, to keep them comfortable and manage your symptoms. And that's a huge benefit. Then,
Eddie,
finally, the fourth one.
that's
Go ahead.
amazing to think
Yeah.
that you could be homesick on hospice, that you don't have to go to the hospital. You don't have to get those IVs put in you, the Foley put in you, everything that they do so rapidly. That's not comfortable when you're at the hospital and sometimes makes you feel worse than before you went, that you can manage those symptoms at home. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. And sometimes when you have conversations with physicians, you ask, doctor, if you're going through a situation like your patient, where would you rather be? In the hospital, getting woken up every couple hours, getting, like you mentioned, pricked, changing Foley bags, so forth, or would you rather be home with your family? 9 times out of 10, I'm even safe to say 10 out of 10, doctors want to be home. No one wants to be at the hospital. You come in weak, you kind of leave weak when you go into a hospital. Think about it. You get, they take care of you, but then they have to figure out how to manage you when you leave to avoid you going back and forth, which is important. Yeah, definitely. Another benefit from hospice, you are a patient of ours. Any hospice, this is your right when you're on the benefit. If you are on our services and you as a family member need a break, you get, this is a part of the 4 things that we were talking about. You get respite care, which means is you have an ability up to once a month. It used to be once every quarter, but I think it's once a month now. You could get a 4 to 5 day break that we will take care of your family member for you to have a little time out, because sometimes it takes a lot of stress on the families. And it's important to know that you have that benefit, that you can take a time out and we could assume responsibility as respite to give you an opportunity to kind of reset yourself.
Eddie, there's so much information that you're giving us. Why don't we, first of all, you are available for people to call you and you offer free consultation to all this information?
Absolutely. My job is to educate the public. It's and see what I can do to help people.
All right, so give out your phone number.
Yeah, my number is area code 786-920-2973. Like myself, I work out of Broward County. We have over 20 representatives like myself from Dade and Broward County that can help you at any given time. And I'm also bilingual, by the way, if that helps.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, why don't we take a commercial break? We come back, we'll finish up the show with a couple other pointers that you have. I mean, this is amazing. And it's so much information that I'm hoping that people are writing down little by little, and they can call in or they can call you and go more stuff. So give us 2 and 2. We'll see you on the other side.
You got it.
Amp Media Productions and WNN Money Talk Radio have been in conjoint business for 10 years. They've been working around the clock, nonstop, to promote over 500 shows and businesses with added platforms such as social media live streaming, podcasts, and the specialty of live radio. To amplify your impact and start your show today, contact Amp Media Productions at 866-224-5422.
When your property suffers from water, mold, fire, or biohazard, you need a professional remediation company that is fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Rescue Clean 911 offer 24/7 emergency service with 1-hour response times now in your area. Water, mold, fire, biohazard. Call now 1-833-253-2699.
Handling the hard jobs with a soft touch.
Looking for a cool, laid-back space with great people and even better drinks? You can't lose. The Artful Dodger, Boca Raton's hidden gem. A good, old-fashioned local bar is hard to come by, but not anymore. The Artful Dodger is a fun, casual place to sit back and relax. Located at 495 Northeast 20th Street in Boca Raton, you'll find your new favorite bar. The Artful Dodger. We'll see you there.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? and you think that you can make a difference if only someone would listen. It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your vision, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have a platform you deserve to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 55312. That's CAFE to 55312. Or call us at 866-224-5422. Your voice can make a difference.
Along the sun-drenched beaches of Boca Raton lies AMP2 Media. We strive to bring rising stars and their fantastic work into the spotlight. From music to art, we have the tools and the talent you need to help you reach the next level. AMP2 Media is proud to announce our new scoring platform for reality shows, movies, and videos. We have the ability to highlight music according to what the eye sees on the screen. Our excellent mastery of music allows us into the deepest part of your film. Our different sounds allow your film work to come to life. For more information, call our studios at 866-224-5422 or visit our website at amp2.tv. Let AMP Media Productions bring your media to life.
You are listening to Tell Us Your Business, where our invited guests share all the knowledge of their business and how important it is what they do in our community. If you want to be part of the conversation, call into the show at 888-565-1470 and tell us what's on your mind. Now, back to Tell Us Your Business.
Thank you, Eddie, for being patient with us. You got to pay some bills there, but the information that you are providing is, I don't even know what word to describe, because you sum it all up. You do it all, which is kind of cool. You have it all in play. It's just about getting the information that you need. The community can call you. Let's give out your phone number again.
My number again is 786-920-2973. And I want to help educate everybody I can. It's not just educating. I mean, Fred, nowadays, these are subjects that no one talks about. You know, these are subjects that are, you know, our everyday lives. Let's go to work. Let's make that extra money, pay the light bill, pay that car payment, you know, and then we all forget about our health. And then, you know, you get to this point in your life that like, oh, I need to start taking care of myself. Services come into play, and that's where physicians help pinpoint, you know, what type of service you need. And sometimes it's family needs to educate themselves and patients, you know. I love speaking to the informative patient that is afraid of getting any type of care because they feel debilitated, or, you know, I had a patient this week, you know, not to harp on hospice. I know I think we talked mostly about hospice because that's the hardest subject for everybody to cope with. And, you know, I had a guy who was just completely in fear. And after speaking with me, just to paint a picture, like, hey, you know, we're here just to give you some extra support at home. You know, you're going through X, Y, Z. You know, why not get the help you need to avoid you, you know, calling 911 4 or 5 times. You know, it's not a good thing. So yeah, Fred. I mean, you know, it's hard but rewarding at the same time. It really is. There's one thing I believe in. You know how everybody says YOLO? You only live once? Nah, I believe you live every day, man. You don't live once. You know, you only live once. Yeah, that, you know, live every day like it's once. Just have a good time. We're here for a good time, not a long time, my friend.
Eddie, can you go over the services that you provide one more time? We got listeners that are coming on and are seeing the end of our conversation. Maybe you can touch on real quick the services you provide, because it is plenty of them.
Oh, yeah. Catholic Health Services, nonprofit organization, Dade and Broward County. We offer a complete continuum of care. Going to start from, in my opinion, the most entry level one is home health. We offer home health. We take obviously Medicare and a handful of other insurances. We have skilled nursing facilities that nowadays, guys, you could just make your physician could directly admit you to our care. You don't have to go to the hospital and be there 3-4 days. And if a physician feels that you could benefit from skilled nursing, physician directly can do a direct admit. Again, rehab. Rehab is something, going through a traumatic event. We offer rehab. We have multiple facilities in Dade and Broward County. Then we have, we mentioned, again, hospice care. Don't have to worry about your insurance. Don't have to worry about your personal situation. We help everybody under the hospice benefit. You call us, we could help you, help your family member. Don't worry about, you don't got insurance. You call us, we're a nonprofit, ran by the Archdiocese, who want to help you out. Then palliative care at home. We could get you palliative care consultations at home, kind of maybe paint a picture of where you're standing in life when it comes to pain management. Maybe, no more aggressive treatments working for you. We need to focus on comfort measures. Palliative care is the way to go. Catholic Health Services has everything. Low income HUD housing. There's a waiting list, guys, but we got multiple locations in Dade and Broward County. Cemeteries. We can help with cemetery aspect too. Early education, childhood care. I'm not familiar with exactly the details of those services, but you could give me a call. You can look us up at CatholicHealthServices.org, and it could pinpoint all that information. You wanna, I'm afraid to go to the skilled nursing facility because of COVID. We have COVID patients in a different wing. We can manage it, and they're your single beds. They're all up to date. You can look up all our information online. If you want to do a quick YouTube, all our facilities in Dade and Broward County, you can see and scope through them. We're a complete plethora of services. We believe we could help keep you in the family and manage you throughout your healthcare service process.
Eddie, what services do you offer if a person passes on? Do you help with arrangements? Because I know a person can feel completely overwhelmed with what to do. It's not just that they had to go through the illness and the saying goodbye process, but what to do afterwards. And also, are there any support groups in the community that you offer?
Great question. If you're under our services with hospice, you're going through that process, that's where the unsung hero comes into play. Who's your unsung hero? Your thankless person that never gets a thanks but takes care of everything is your social worker. That social worker makes sure that we have everything in play to avoid any stresses in a family's life going through that process when you should be mourning and in ways celebrating, that person's life. You don't have to worry about funeral services. We could help arrange funeral services. We could help if you already have funeral services, and we could arrange all that for you. Those are questions in the first couple days of our care. We will be, asking these questions to key family members, power of attorneys, proxies, whomever, and try to get all this down packed, which is important. Less stress. We are here to help you.
One of the things that I want to touch upon, because I'm Latino as well, and one of the things that in the Latino community, the services that you provide, soup to nuts, A to Z, dire need in the Latino community, because a lot of people who don't speak English get afraid to ask the questions or don't have anyone to ask the questions in Spanish. And you speak both languages, correct? I
speak both languages. We have multiple staff members when a nurse gets sent over to your household to do a consultation that speak bilingual, we're a complete package when it comes to that. If there's even people from other languages, we provide translators that can help educate. Our job is to educate. We're not there to, hey, come on, let's sign on to our services. We'll help you to take advantage. No, we want to educate you to make the right decision for your family at that moment. And Latinos have a way of hesitating. We're hesitators sometimes, and sometimes we need to hear it a couple times and process it to really take advantage of the care.
Well, then, and it's important. You're culturally diverse, and that's important, especially here in South Florida. It's a major, major play. But again, it removes the fear of asking the questions, of getting the answers, of allowing people to get the right services, and not having to rely on doing the wrong thing that they're not comfortable with, which nobody really wants to do as well. Can you tell us a little bit about where the locations are?
Locations are, I'm going to look at because there's so many. So if you happen to be on screen, this is all the services that we offer that obviously you can't see because it's too small. But I'm going to read the back of this real quickly here. We have St. Catherine's Rehabilitation and Villa Maria's Nursing Home. That's off of Northwest 122nd Street in Hialeah. So that particular facility is right there on the borderline between Dade and Broward County. Then we have locations in North Miami around 125th Street, which will help that eastern side of the fence in Miami. Then we have way down south with St. Anne's Nursing Center and our inpatient unit for hospice also, just in case. Then we have come back to my roots. I'm born and raised in Miami, but my land of to lay in is Broward County. I love it. It's St. Anthony's Rehab and St. John's Skilled Nursing, which is right there in Lauderdale Lakes on 35th Avenue. We have our inpatient unit for hospice at Holy Cross. Beautiful, up to date. We just had a new opening there. We have 16 beds that we offer there to help during that time of need. Have a social worker in site, complete staff, the whole 9 yards. And then, we provide home health, in the Dade and Broward County market. We go to you, obviously, when it comes to that. We're a one-stop shop for care. Don't let the Catholic part, if you're from a different faith, we help all faiths. Like I said, we even have our own L'Haim division for hospice.
What is the website, Eddie?
Website is CatholicHealthServices.org. And it has all that information I mentioned and more, probably things I missed.
What are the payment sources that you take? I think there's a whole array of insurances. Am I correct?
Yes, absolutely. When it comes to payment sources, when it comes to home health, it all depends on your insurance carrier when it comes to payment sources. If you're a Medicare, Medicaid, we help you off the bat with no questions asked. Some of your payer sources, like your Cignas of the world, we take it. Your Oscar Health, a lot of these Medicaid insurances, we take them all. There's some insurances that, unfortunately, like your Humanities and so forth, they have to work with one specific carrier when it comes to home health. Now, when you go into the other lines of services that we offer, for example, rehab, skilled nursing, we practically take everybody. We have to get an authorization through your insurance company, but those are things that takes in a day. We could get an authorization, maybe a couple days, depending on the level of care. Hospice, as I mentioned, nothing. We take everybody. You don't have insurance, you don't have a social security number, doesn't matter. You have a family member, Latin, you're afraid to call because you've been here, but your family member doesn't have a social or anything like that, doesn't have Medicaid, no benefits. Call us. We'll help you out. No hesitations on that, and we want to help everybody. That's our job. We're not, we're here to help families.
Excellent, Eddie. That's the end of the show. Real quick, give out your phone number.
Phone number again, 786-920-2973. You could call me. Doesn't matter what location, Dade and Broward County. I'm here to help you guys.
Very nice, Eddie. I want to thank you for coming on and sharing this with you. Hopefully we can do this again real near future. I appreciate you giving the community in Spanish and English community an opportunity to learn more, and we look forward to having you in the future.
You got it, guys. God bless and have a good night. Thank you.
This has been Tell Us Your Business, where a special guest comes on every week and tells us what they do. All shows can be seen on amp2.tv, and if you wish to be a guest, call 866-224-5422 and tell us about your business. That's 866-224-5422. This has been an amp2.tv production.